Hello everyone, it is June 29th, 2024. About to take a 35-40 minute drive to my mom's house in White Bear Lake. I'm currently in Apple Valley, Minnesota. So let's start driving. Currently at a gas station called Quick Trip. Had to pull over and fix my car mount, or the mount for the cell phone. It was starting to fall off, and went and bought one of the more expensive ones, but I guess my dashboard doesn't like mounts for some reason. I can't put it on the windshield because Minnesota state law prohibits anything being attached to the windshield except for your rearview mirror. And state troopers can pull you over if they see anything attached, so I'm not taking any chances. So we just turned on to County Road 11 and we're about to turn onto the on-ramp for Interstate 35E. Interstate 35E, if you take it all the way, it could take you by my mom's house, but it also takes you through downtown St. Paul, and we're not going to go that way for multiple reasons. Traffic does slow down. There is a speed trap through downtown St. Paul where the speed limit drops consistently, or considerably. Drops down to about 45 miles an hour at one point, and don't feel like going that slow. Go around this guy. Oh, we got a bunch of traffic up here. First day of the week where it's not considerably hot or muggy. It's only supposed to get up to about 70 degrees today, and the dew points have dropped, so the humidity's low, so it's pretty comfortable outside right now. Driving used to be so easy in Minnesota back in the day when I was a kid. I'd watch my parents drive, older friends and stuff, and driving wasn't too much of a hassle, but nowadays it reminds me a lot of driving in Texas. People don't know where they're going, they don't use their turn or blinkers or turn signals. They're just out there, and driving however they want to drive. It was sunny earlier. The sun's supposed to come out later. You can see sunlight reflecting off the road and everything, but I do know the clouds are supposed to roll in for a bit, so that's why it's kind of cloudy right now. Driving through Eagan, Minnesota. Eagan's a suburb of Minneapolis and St. Paul. The highway still looks the same as when I was a kid. Just with more drivers on the road. I got some guy flipping me off, tailgating me, but as you can see, there's a car in front of me. I can't really do much if he's tailgating. Under what's called Yankee Doodle Road. This is kind of like the central shopping part of Eagan right here. They got a lot of restaurants, a lot of stores. Right there, that's the reason, because this is the exit lane for 494, which is what we need to take, and a lot of people wait until the last minute to get into this lane, and people will not let you into the lane. And I don't feel like driving through St. Paul, so see, like this guy here. Oh, I'm just gonna cut in at the last minute, and either he's from Arizona or he's a snowbird. Wow, 35 miles an hour. This is the slowest I've taken this exit yet. Looks like everybody and their mom's out on the road today. I see a lot of RVs, campers, so I guess people are going up north or over to Wisconsin. I see a lot of fuel tankers. So I guess today's fuel delivery day for for everybody. I don't know. Interstate 494, and we're gonna take this basically all the way to White Bear. This is a ring road. It's also called 694 on the northern part of the ring, and it's a giant ring highway that goes around the Twin Cities all together, Minneapolis and St. Paul. It goes all the way around the suburbs. This is a 60-mile-an-hour road. And we're now passing through Inver Grove Heights. Just a few minutes ago to the left, or to the right, was the Minnesota Vikings practice facility and team offices for the NFL football team, the Minnesota Vikings. Now, it's just built not too long ago. Their old facility is was in Eden Prairie. Just like a lot of other businesses, companies, and even residential folks, everyone's moving to the southern suburbs. The southern suburbs of the Twin Cities are some of the fastest growing, not only in the Midwest, but in some instances, fastest growing in the United States. Couldn't tell you how many farmland, or how many farm properties I've seen in the past couple years that sold and turned into planned developments with brand new houses and HOAs and all that good stuff. Well, I wouldn't say good stuff about HOAs, but some of those brand new houses I've been into, they're cookie cutter. They all have very identical designs, and in some instances they're built poorly. And these houses go up and are ready to move in about 3-4 months. I don't know about where you are from, but Minnesota, it seems like the only place in the country I've ever lived or spent time in that they will move someone into a brand new house and there's still no grass, no irrigation or landscaping, and not even a driveway. They just have a gravel driveway. They haven't even put the driveway in yet, but they're moving these people in. When I lived in Texas, people tend to move into the houses once everything's there. The house, the grass, sprinklers, driveway, landscaping, everything. Everything's done when they move in. But up here, it seems like they just want to rush people to move in. All right, now we're in South St. Paul, which is a suburb of St. Paul. It's an older suburb. by the river, it kind of smells every now and then because I think there's a slaughterhouse down there, and once they're slaughtering pigs or beef or whatever, it stinks. To cross what's called the Wakota Bridge. So we're going to be crossing from Dakota County to, I believe, Washington County. And the river under us is the Mississippi River. Mississippi River is one of the longest rivers in the United States. Its source is in northern Minnesota at the Itasca State Park. Oh, there comes that smell right now. Starts in Itasca, goes all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico. So we are in Newport, Minnesota. Doesn't matter which direction you're going, north or south. The state troopers are frequently parked there waiting for speeders. Now, from what I've seen from my experience driving this road, if you're going 5 over at the most, 5 miles an hour over the speed limit, they probably won't come after you. Everyone typically goes 5 over, but they'll go after the people that are going 10, 15, 20 over, or if you're just erratically driving. Now we've crossed into Woodbury. About 20 years ago, Woodbury was one of the suburbs to move to. Interstate 94. If you go west on that highway, it'll take you to Minneapolis, St. Paul, and then further on to North Dakota. If you go east, it'll take you to Wisconsin, Eau Claire, I believe Madison, Milwaukee, and then onward to Chicago. But right here at 94 is when 494 changes signage to 694. Into Oakdale, Minnesota. It's an older suburb, older, more condensed suburb. It amazes me that throughout my whole life, and even up to today, 690, this stretch of 694 is only 2 lanes in each direction. With the amount of traffic on the roads these days, and traffic buildup and such, you'd think they would have added a 3rd lane, but that's Minnesota Department of Transportation planning for you, or lack of planning. Left coming up is the Oakdale water tower. There's 2 or 3 water towers, I think, but they all have an oak tree on them. That's the city icon, is the oak tree. Hence the name Oakdale. Might get a little bumpy here, but that's because we're on an older stretch of 694 that hasn't really been maintained much over the years, so between each concrete slab's a slight bump. expected it to be a slightly bumpy ride, but it's whatever. I've driven through wind, I've driven through snow, hail, even driven through severe weather with a tornado in the area. I'm not gonna say I've seen it all. I've seen a lot. I never say I've seen it all because no one in their life has seen everything. But I've been out there in severe weather, so some of the weather can be very, very intimidating. One thing I will not constantly drive through is hail. If there is hail, I'm pulling over into a gas station or somewhere with a canopy until the hail stops. One of my worst nightmares is my entire windshield shattering when I'm driving because of large hail. You don't see hail often in Minnesota. You see it in the Central Plains states or Oklahoma, Texas, but it's not unheard of up here. Highway 120. This road is known by several different names. You have Century Avenue, Division Street, Geneva Avenue, County Line Road. I could be forgetting one or two names, but that's what happens when there's a road on the county line. Every municipality has different names for it. We're going to take County Road D, which turns into Bel Air Avenue, give you the scenic route. Got a green light. Sometimes I get a green light, sometimes I get a flashing yellow. White Bear Lake, frog in my throat. White Bear Lake is an older town. A lot of the homes were built in the 50s, 60s, 70s. So you have 50, 60, 70-year-old homes easily in this suburb. But it's got that small town charm to it. I mean, they're older homes, older neighborhoods, but it's just got that vibe. That got that nice community vibe, if you know what I mean. approaching the stoplight at County Road E. Back in the day in Ramsey County, the county roads were alphabetical. So you had County Road A, B, C, D, E. But since then, they've converted over to numerical county road numbers. But if the road itself is named County D, County E, they keep the name, but they might have a numerical number to the road too. So just drove by a church that had a LGBT rainbow flag, and in Minnesota you'll see churches doing that, putting the rainbow flag out next to the church sign, which people don't know when to drive. I got to the stop sign after her, and she's waving me on and la-di-da-di-da. It's like, no, you go. And there's been a couple instances where I've approached a four-way stop sign and people are like waving me on or flashing their brights like, hey, you can go. And then we're like, no, you can go. And then the other person's like, no, you can go. And we're just sitting there at a stalemate for 5 minutes. But if no one's going, I'm gonna go. Because I got places to be. Off in the distance, I don't know if you can see it, but that body of water is White Bear Lake. Used to go swimming in there as a kid. Because at the end of Bel Air Avenue down there is Bel Air Beach. So this is my mom's neighborhood around here. 33 minutes, or almost 34 minutes, not too bad. Traffic was pretty smooth, I would say. So I think we're going to end the video right here, because that is my mom's house at the end there. So thanks for tagging along. Have a good afternoon, good evening, good night.